Folks, we want to welcome you to Warren Wilson College. It's the home opener for the 2014 through 2015 season as your Warren Wilson Owls take on Alice Lloyd. But before that, let's go down to the court and the playing of the national anthem, which will be sung by Renee Scherer. She's got a little bit of a Nora Jones quality, doesn't she, folks? All right, let's meet the starting lineups. Let's start with the Lady Eagles of Alice Lloyd, 3-1, the NAIA members of the KIAC. Head coach John Mills will start this way at one guard, number 1, Carla Booth, a senior 5'6" from Warfield, Kentucky. At another guard, it's number 3, Taylor Morgan, 5'2" sophomore out of Granger, Tennessee. And the other guard, number 14, Madison Reed, 5'9" freshman from Slayersville, Kentucky. Up front for the Eagles, it's number 34, Morgan Chestnut, sophomore, 6 foot from Manchester, Kentucky. And number 32, Sarah Robinson. Robinson, a freshman, 5'10" from Manchester, Kentucky as well. Now let's meet the starters for your Warren Wilson Owls. The Owls come in 1-3. Head coach is Robin Martin, and they will start this way. At one guard, it's number 0, Tashi Oglesby, a sophomore, 5'8" from Cheverly, Maryland. At another guard, you heard her just moments ago, number 3, Renee Scherer, a senior, 5'9" from Montsey, New York. And the other guard is number 4, Tashay Glenn, junior, 5'5" from Charlotte, North Carolina. Up front, number 32, Justina Hall, senior, 5'3" from Jacksonville, North Carolina. And number 33, Lilvia Bradbury, a junior, 6'1" from Minford, Ohio. So it's the home opener for your Owls. The Owls coming in at 1-3. The season started with a loss to Columbia International, a vastly improved Columbia International team. Then the ladies were able to get a victory in that all-important USCAA Classic in Charlotte, 76-70 over Penn State Fayette. They lost the next game, and they also dropped another one. So the Owls are 1-3, ready to hit the hardwood. Meanwhile, Alice Lloyd coming in at 3-1. Good start for Alice Lloyd here on the season as well, considering they lost one of their better players. We'll talk about that as the night goes on. Settle in, folks. Glad you could be with us wherever you're watching. Second season of basketball for the ladies set to get underway here on the Owls Sports Network. For the Owls, Bradbury will tip it up against Robinson, I believe, for the Eagles. As we're underway with the Owls going from right to left on your screens and tablets, Oglesby on the right wing, bounce past Bradbury in the lane. Bradbury over 2 defenders. That was blocked. Nice job on defense, but Bradbury gets it back. A little bit too strong. Coming up with it is Chestnut. Into the forecourt for Alice Lloyd now is Booth. Owls starting in a zone, hounding defense by Oglesby. Goes over to Reed. Now cross court to Morgan. Morgan looking in. And Bradbury able to disrupt the entry pass on that. Shot clock at 16 as Booth will inbound for the Eagles. Carla Booth, 21.7 points per ball game. Fantastic season so far through the first 4. Top of the key, it's Morgan back to Booth with 10 to shoot, guarded by Oglesby. Oglesby deflected the ball. Booth got it back. Now Morgan, jumper at the free throw stripe, no good. Renee Scherer's got the rebound. Out to Glenn. Glenn into the forecourt to Oglesby. Oglesby spins into the lane, shoots and scores. Tashi Oglesby with the first two of the night, and the Owls leading it 2-0. Reed, now it's swung over to Booth from way downtown, just grazed the rim, and Scherer's all alone for the rebound. Bounce past the Hall, gets it into the front court. Glenn over to Oglesby, quickly into Bradbury, and Bradbury is fouled. Lilvia will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws here. Just a minute and some change into the ball game. Bradbury on the young season, 57% at the line. Most of the stats first couple of weeks of the year are complete garbage, but for point of reference, 3-0 as Bradbury gets the first one. And 2 out of 2 for Lilvia. Bradbury off to a good start, shooting 46% from the field on the season. Bradbury, 13.2 points per ball game, gets on the board here. 4-0 Owls. Morgan in the corner. Up top, Robinson looking to get it in. Good team defense by the Owls there to get the turnover. Glenn pushes it into the front court. Nice job by Morgan to stay with her. Hall on the right. Now Bradbury again. She's going to back it out. And the ball deflected. Hall able to recover. Hall on the baseline, and Hall is bumped. Foul will go on Booth. So 2 team fouls now on the Eagles, who bring in a whole new set. Amber Shepard, Serena Nickel, and some other people. It's Bailey O'Brien and also Megan Jones. Hall gets the inbound to Glenn. Bradbury, right post. Bradbury over to the defender, too strong on the bucket. And the rebound controlled by Booth. Get it over to Jones. Up top, Booth. Don't want to leave her alone, and she buries the 3. Booth 40% from behind the arc. As a team, Alice Lloyd shooting 26%. So Booth is shooting 40% all by herself. And what do we have? 3-second violation. Well, you usually don't see that call right when the ball is brought up the court, but there you have it, folks, and it's a turnover for the Owls. Now Booth, right of the lane. Booth, too strong off the glass. Scherer's got another rebound. Renee Scherer, nice job on the glass at the start. Nice job with the anthem as well. There's Glenn. Glenn's entry pass, good defense there to deflect it. Shepard. Now out on the break is Jones, and Jones fouled on her way to the bucket, so Jones will get 2 shots. First team foul for Warren Wilson here, 2.5 minutes into the ball game. Megan Jones, 4 out of 7 on the season. Make it 4 out of 8 as she misses the first one. 2 subs coming on for Warren Wilson. It is Lindsay Bodnar, the freshman from Toronto, Ohio. Also on for the first time is Keela McCurry, the freshman from right here in western North Carolina. Eagles showing press. McCurry surveys, gets it to Glenn in the front court. Bodnar, her pass deflected, and again another turnover for the Owls as it's good defense again from Shepard. Eagles now, Jones in the corner. It's a steal this time by Bradbury. Hall now. Keela McCurry into the front court. Jacina Hall on the right side. Goes left of the screen. Bodnar. Her defender falls down. Puts it up too strong. Rebound controlled by Nickel. Nickel running the floor. How about the big? And the big traveled with the basketball. So sloppy for both teams here at the start. Lots of turnovers at the beginning of this one. Alice Lloyd from Pippa Pass, Kentucky, far eastern part of Kentucky. McCurry, now Hall Hits it to Shea Glenn. How about the start for Glenn? 18.8 points per ball game. 48% from behind the arc in the first 4 games. Bradbury back out to Glenn. 10 to shoot. Out to McCurry on the right. Bradbury puts it up, and she is fouled. Over-aggressive was Nickel. That'll be the 3rd team foul on the Lady Eagles. Start of a back-to-back for Alice Lloyd. They will go to Hiawassee tomorrow. Wrap up this little mini trip. Bradbury back at the line. She was 2 for 2 earlier. And she stays perfect. 3 for 3 now. 5-4 is the score after that free throw on the other end. And Bradbury 4 for 4 at the line. Gives the Owls a 2-point advantage. This is the first meeting between these two mountain schools, Appalachian schools. Cutting into the lane is Nickel, and the ball goes out of bounds. So Alice Lloyd another turnover, and they're going to send in a bunch of new players again. Robinson, Morgan back out there. Reed also back on. And who else we got? Amber Shepard is also back in. Quick turnover now. Robinson pops the jumper and gets the friendly roll. 6-all. Glenn throws it to Bodnar in the forecourt. Bounce pass Bradbury. She'll put it up again. That's Sasha Miller. Sasha Miller, not Lilvia Bradbury, with the first 2. So Miller's come on. Sasha Miller, the junior from Rockport, Massachusetts. And another turnover for Alice Lloyd here. So the Owls will get it back, leading by 2. Bodnar. McCurry. McCurry drives in, bounce passes it over to Hall. Hall thought about the 3. She was open and straight scoop shots it up and in. Jacina Hall patient offense, and the Owls go up by 4. It matches their biggest lead of the game as we're early on here in this first half. Morgan now over to Shepard. Shepard, Robinson spins into the lane. Nice effort, missed it back rim. Offensive rebound by Nickel, and she will go to the line. Correction, McDaniel at the line. Clara McDaniel, perfect 4 for 4 on the young season. Can't get that one to go, though, and the Owls hold a 4-point advantage here. 15-18 left to go in the first half. Chris Sheeman, glad to be with you here on a 31-degree chilly night outside. It's a little bit warmer in here, and we're thankful for that. McCurry facing the press. Glenn now Miller. Miller throws a pass. It's tipped by Morgan. Morgan had the rush back on defense. Did a nice job to close and disrupt that pass. It stays with the Owls, though. Hall to inbound. Bodnar. Left of the lane, puts it up short. Rebound controlled by Reed. Here come the Eagles. Down by 3. Shepard on the left from way downtown. Missed it. Tip for the rebound. McCurry collects it. McCurry to the cutter. Bodnar looking for Miller. And good job by Morgan again to close the passing lanes. Tashi Oglesby will return. Jacina Hall out. So Hall, McCurry, and Glenn in the backcourt. Bodnar and Miller up front. Coming back in for the Eagles, it is Chestnut and Booth. Glenn, Oglesby. Oh, right back to Glenn. Glenn decided to back it out. Might have had a shot opportunity there. Here's McCurry. Over to Oglesby from downtown. Short on the shot. Rebound by Morgan. Morgan bounce passes it to Reed on the right. Right back to Morgan. Open 3. Missed it short. Sasha Miller collects the rebound. Miller doubled up. He's got to get some help. And what do we got? A timeout. Timeout by Robin Martin. 22nd timeout. We'll keep it here, folks. Set the broadcast schedule up for you. Coming up later today, the men taking on Mid-Atlantic Christian University. That's at 7 p.m. Then the Sunday It'll be the men at Greensboro at 2 p.m. That'll be an audio-only broadcast. And then on Tuesday, the men take on Crown. Our next women's broadcast is on Thursday. We will be at, where are we going next? Check your notes, dummy. We're going to Emory and Henry. That'll be on Thursday. That will be an audio-only broadcast. We will not have video for that broadcast, but I will be there. 10-7, the Owls with a 3-point advantage. Well, let's get the inbound. Bradbury's come back on. Scherer also returns. McCurry, Oglesby, and Glenn. That's the 5. Updated 5 as Glenn has it up top to the cutter. McCurry in the lane. Back out to Glenn. Catch and shoot 3. No good. Rebound control by Chestnut. Here's Morgan into the forecourt. Swings it to Reed on the left now. Robinson in the corner. Her pass deflected, and it goes off of Morgan out of bounds. So Tashay Glenn will inbound it. The junior from Charlotte. Hall coming back in. McCurry's going to come out. A lot of subs here at the outset. 13:55 left to go here in this first half. Ball goes to Scherer. Glenn gets it into the front court now. Hall on the left. Scherer had trouble with the dribble, able to get it back out to Hall, though. Hall spins into the lane. Right around her defender, lays it up and in. Jacina Hall. Hall's been another pleasant surprise, 10.5 points per ball game. She's had a couple of big ones. Here's Booth, way outside, no good. Long rebound to Morgan, and Morgan's fouled on her way up. So Taylor Morgan, the sophomore, goes to the line. Both teams with 3 team fouls here with 13:23 left to go. That one goes around the rim, bounces in. 4-point ball game now. Alice Lloyd coming off a 34-point loss to Pikeville on Tuesday. Second free throw no good. Scherer's got the rebound. Pretty good passing overall against the press for Warren Wilson so far here tonight. Bradbury had it taken away by Reed. Reed into the forecourt. Bounce passes it to Booth. Booth spins it over to Morgan. Morgan from downtown. Got it to go. Taylor Morgan, 2 for 2 coming in from behind the arc on the young season. Stays perfect now, 3 for 3. Hall into the front court now. Owls leading by 1. Jacina Hall strong to the bucket again. And she's fouled, I believe, on the floor, they say. Stick around at halftime, folks. We're going to talk to Robin Martin. It's an interview we did before the season started to preview, quote-unquote, the year. If you haven't seen it on our YouTube page, you can stick around at halftime. New head coach of the Owls, Robin Martin. Bradbury out to Oglesby. Oglesby takes the dribble, pops the jumper, can't get it to go. Rebound chased down by Booth in the corner. Alice Lloyd likes to push it, as you can see. They're averaging 87.5 points per ball game. Here's Chestnut, and Chestnut fouled by Bradbury on her way up. They're also giving up 88.5 points per ball game, so they're scoring a lot, but they're giving up a lot as well. Of course, 4 games into the season, you give up 109 to a team, and that'll skew the stats a little bit. Chestnut, first free throw up and in. We're tied for the second time here in the ball game. McCurry and Bodnar comes back in. Oglesby and Scherer back out. That was Bradbury's first foul, by the way. Both teams with 4 team fouls with 12:19 left to go in the half. Second free throw no good. Rebound by Bradbury. Bradbury threw it away, and now there's a scrum for it. Reed comes up with it. Robinson. Booth traveled with the basketball. Good defense by Bradbury. You got her tied up. All 5 Owls in the backcourt here. Glenn. Now Bradbury, and Bradbury traveled. So back-to-back turnovers. This time the Lady Eagles will get the benefit of the mistake. Morgan, top of the key. Morgan threw it to nobody. McCurry and Bodnar are all alone in the front court. Lindsay will load up and score. 14-12, John Mills calls timeout for Alice Lloyd. And we will step aside. 11:47 left to go here in the first half. Owls leading it by 2. We'll be back after this. Well, folks, for those of you who were around with us last year, this year one change, we're broadcasting in high definition in addition to moving to our YouTube streaming. You have to click that little sprocket. Here's Booth, quick three, and right now Alice Lloyd is getting the shots, but they're just cold. Is out of the timeout. Warren Wilson up by 2. We'll bring that graphic up again next time there's a stoppage, but sometimes when you load up the broadcast, it won't automatically go to the high def option. There's a turnover. McCurry threw it right to Morgan. Morgan into the lane. Morgan banks it off the glass. Tied again at 14. It's been sloppy but competitive. Bodnar bounce pass to Glenn now in the front court. So sometimes you have to click on that little sprocket at the bottom of the YouTube thing to get the HD. You have to manually click on that to get it to show up. McCurry from way outside. Oh, halfway down. Bradbury put back, no good. Chestnut able to get the rebound, and I think she got the block too. Booth behind the back, pops the jumper, and got it to go from 10. Alice Lloyd taking their first lead of the night at 16-14. Bodnar. Here's Glenn. Glenn's pass is tipped, and right now the Owls are having trouble with control. Passing was crisp in the first part of this first half, but not over the last couple of plays. Be an out-of-bounds play here, and Alice Lloyd will have to inbound it. Alice Lloyd, NAIA member of the Kentucky Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. Last year, they went 17-10 on 11-6 in conference play. Robinson out on the wing. And like I said, they like to push the action. And they've got the Owls on their heels a little bit here over the last couple of minutes. Booth on the left, 5 to shoot. Good defense as Booth called for the offensive foul. Booth had to force it with 3 to shoot and ran out of room there. 5th team foul on Kentucky, or on Alice Lloyd. More subs for Alice Lloyd here. Jones back in, Nickel back out there, Shepard, and O'Brien. Booth is the lone remaining player out on the floor, so that's the 5 for the Eagles. Bradbury gets it into the forecourt. Bradbury, Hall, Bodnar, Scherer, and Oglesby. That's the 5 for Warren Wilson. Jacina Hall on the right side. Up top to Oglesby. Oglesby throws it up, can't get it to go. Bradbury with the putback and gets it to bounce in. All tied again at 16. Alice Lloyd trying to find some help inside. There's a catch-and-shoot 3 that's no good, and we have an over-the-back call. It is on Shepard, who didn't think so. Anywho, the Eagles lost Ariel Nickel averaged 22.5 points per ball game in her 4-year career, but she also averaged over 10 rebounds. A big piece on the inside gone for the Lady Eagles, and still trying to navigate a little bit of a new identity. Wouldn't call it a rebuilding, though, as they have Booth, as I mentioned, who's a strong returning player. Bradbury, no good. Offensive rebound, got stripped. Bodner trying to save it, but threw it to Booth. 9:05 left to go here in the half. Here's Jones. Bounce passes it out to Shepard. Over to Jones. Now Booth. Give the Owls defense a lot of credit. This is a team, as I said, averaged 87.5 points per ball game. And they're being forced into a lot of bad shots, although second opportunity now and a reach on the Owls. That'll be team foul number 6 on Warren Wilson. And McCurry's going to return. Also on for the first time for the Owls is Brogan O'Brien, the junior from Waxhaw, North Carolina. Booth to inbound. Quick shot, Nickel. And Nickel gets it to go. 18-16 now. McCurry throws it into the forecourt. Oglesby. Out to Hall. Now McCurry between the circles. Here's Oglesby on the pass from O'Brien. Justina Hall, 8 to shoot. Hall goes to the bucket. Again around the defense. Too strong off the glass, though, and can't get the roll. Tipped rebound comes to O'Brien, who pushes into the forecourt, lays it up and in. Alice Lloyd, their biggest lead of the night now at 20-16, and now Booth with the steal. Oh, fouled hard by Hall, who went for the block. So Booth will have to earn it at the free throw stripe. Carla Booth, in her career, 18.9 points per ball game. She's a senior. 42% shooter in her career. She's 40% so far this year. At the free throw stripe, 79%, as she gets the first one to go. Alice Lloyd by 5 now. Glenn's going to come in. Oglesby out. And Booth gets the second, so six-point advantage now for Alice Lloyd. McCurry out near midcourt. McCurry drives into the lane, and she's fouled. So Keela McCurry will go to the line. Keela, the freshman, shooting 63% from the charity stripe on the season. That is team foul number 6 on Alice Lloyd. The Owls over the limit. They have 7. McCurry misses the first one back of the rim. Owls led by as many as 4 right now. It's a 6-point advantage for Alice Lloyd. Coming up later, men taking on MacU. A doubleheader to open up the home portion of the schedule, as McCurry gets 1 out of 2 to cut the deficit to 5. Jones on the right side now. Jones gets it to Shepard. Quick toss, corner jumper by Nickel, and Nickel gets it to go. Nickel came in shooting 40%, gets her first bucket of the night. Glenn on the left, over to McCurry. McCurry catch and shoot 3, short on it, and the rebound controlled by Nickel. Booth swings it out to Jones. There's a catch and shoot from way downtown, and Shepard missed everything. Again, stick around at halftime. 7:06 away from that. We will talk with Robin Martin about being a first-year head coach here at Warren Wilson, about the season a little bit, even though we're 4 games in. Glenn now Bradbury. McCurry looking for Bodner, and Bodner, I think, thought the pass was going to be deflected. It's thrown out of bounds. The Owls are going to have to talk about taking better care of the ball in the locker room. They've played well defensively. It's Been the passing, especially late inside this first half, that has been a problem. Booth is open. Passes on to 3. Throws cross court to Jones. And Jones shuffles her feet. So the ball goes back to the Owls. McCurry gets the inbound from Hall. O'Brien pressing her now. Hall. Bradbury out on the wing. Bradbury, what do we have here? Say she carried the ball, I think. Or maybe 5 seconds, not sure, but it's another turnover, and the ball goes back to Alice Lloyd. Booth over to Jones. Jones, here's O'Brien from downtown. Can't get it to go. Long rebound chased down by Booth. Booth on the baseline, drives into the lane, scoops it up too strong around Bradbury, and Lilvia collects the rebound. Got it out to McCurry. McCurry into the forecourt now. McCurry to Glenn. Under 6 to play here in the half. Back to McCurry. Glenn, now Hall. Glenn, she'll pop a 3 and bury it. To Shea Glenn from downtown, 48% on the season, got that bucket. Here's Nickel on the baseline, answers for Alice Lloyd. So the scoring starting to pick up here for Alice Lloyd. Owls got to keep it going on the offensive end as well. Glenn will try another one and bury another one. So Glenn in line to replace some of that scoring, vacated by Danny Henderson, who's over on the bench as a coach now, as Shepard gets that jumper with the hand at her face. And Glenn starting to get more aggressive here. McCurry, Bodner in the corner and had it knocked away. It goes out of bounds though, Nickel. Chestnut, Morgan, extra subs coming on now for the Eagles. Reed also back out there. Scherers returns, as does Oglesby for the Owls. 4:44 left to play here in the half. Oh, beautiful pass. Jacina Hall found Bradbury, who was wide open. A nice cut to the basket by Bradbury. So it's 28-25 now. Alice Lloyd looked like they were going to put a run together. Good job by the Owls to fight their way back. And now what do we have here? I think there was a clock issue. So they'll get that straightened away. Reminder, folks, this year, for the first time, we're broadcasting in high definition. If it doesn't load automatically, you have to click on that sprocket at the bottom of your screen and set it to high def. It depends on your internet speed if it will run smoothly or not. Here's Morgan. Bounce past the Chestnut in the corner. Now Robinson. Robinson loses it. Hall and Bradbury. Now Bradbury threw it to Scherer, who wasn't ready for it. Booth comes up with it. Steps into a jumper at the free throw stripe. No good. Robinson in the lane with the putback. Alice Lloyd back up by 5. Glenn bounce passes it to Oglesby in the forecourt. Swings it back to Glenn. Now Bradbury. Out to Tashi. Tashi catch and shoot 3. Can't get it off the glass. Rebound controlled by Reed. Reed in the forecourt now. Morgan. Now Booth. Bounce passes it to Chestnut. Right back to Booth. Booth raises up on the baseline and hits it. I mean, you tip your hat in that situation. Glenn did all she could to get a hand up. Bradbury now one-on-one. Instead waits for her teammates. Back to Hall. Hall. Oh, right past the defense. Too strong off the glass. Tip for the rebound. Scherer chases it down. Oglesby now Hall on the right. Hall doubled up. Bounce passes it to Scherer. Open elbow jumper. Grazes the rim and nothing more. Booth gets the rebound. Booth into the front court. Here's a catch-and-shoot bomb. That's no good by Reed, and the Owls get the rebound. Eagles up by 7. Oglesby fakes it, drives in, puts it off the glass. Tashi Oglesby makes it a 5-point game. Owls looking to get a stop now here with 2:47 and counting. Morgan, hounded by Glenn. Chestnut drives baseline, spins around. Bradbury missed it short. Offensive rebound, got it on the second effort. Bradbury. Now Glenn into the front court. Glenn got tied up, got it back, floats it up and in. Reed now on the baseline. And a blocking foul called on Hall, so Reed will go to the 1-and-1 as the Owls have 18 fouls. Sasha Miller, Keelan McCurry coming back out for Warren Wilson. Leaving is Scherer and Bradbury. Again, stick around, 2:04 left until half. We'll talk with Robin Martin at the half. Front end and 1-and-1 is good for Reed, so she will get another. College basketball starting in full gear all over the country this weekend. Kentucky taking on Minnesota later on today in D1 action. My favorite time of the year. McCurry's pass tipped, another steal. Morgan, oh, that ball almost died on the rim. Now a steal by Tashay Glenn as Robinson came up with the offensive rebound. And a reach on Alice Lloyd will put them over the limit. So Glenn will go to the line for the 1-and-1. Tashay Glenn, 87% at the line on the season. And boy, she's matching Danny Henderson's numbers almost toe for toe in terms of free throw percentage, shooting percentage, and scoring. Danny, as I mentioned, still with the team. Still finishing up her education here as Glenn misses the front end of the 1-and-1. So she's helping out Coach Martin this year as an assistant, student assistant, I guess is the correct term. But it's still good to have that leadership on the bench. Here's Reed. Reed buries it from downtown. Alice Lloyd making some distance now. It's up to 10. Owls, Bodner, catch and shoot jumper. Got it to go. 39-31. 1:29 left to go, and looks like we have another stoppage, I think. Chestnut for the Eagles needed a moment to get rid of something. The Owls are a lot younger this year, but they're talented. It's just a matter of getting everybody to play well. Of course, Glenn came over as a junior transfer student. Turnaround jumper no good, that time by Robinson. Now here comes Glenn and the Owls. Throws it out to Miller. Bodner with the fake. Steps into a jumper and buries another one. Well, folks, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and it does my heart good to see a Buckeye doing well here in the mountains. Bodner with 4. And the lead is down to 6. Good defense again by the Owls as that shot goes in and out. Owls, boy, how you close a half is so important. Here's Oglesby. And Oglesby is fouled, so Tashi will go to the charity stripe. In high school and in the pros, it's how you close the quarters. In college basketball, it's so important to close out the half strong after the Owls went down by 10. Oglesby with a chance to cut it to just 4 with 42 seconds left. And she does. Tashi Oglesby came in 80% at the charity stripe, and that's both of them. About 11 seconds difference between game and shot clock. Of course, Alice Lloyd doesn't care about shot clocks. They're putting up shots. Morgan misses on the offensive rebound, and here's Glenn now. Glenn had it knocked away. Great defense. Morgan, though, throws it away. Boy, hectic now, and the shot clock is off, so the Owls will hold here for the final shot. Glenn with 6. Bodner, step back jumper, no good. And with 2 seconds left, that is how the half will come to an end. So the Owls go down by 10, but go on a 6-0 run to close the gap to 4. It's 39-34 at the half. Folks, as I mentioned, before the season started, had a chance to talk to new head coach Robin Martin, and here she is. We'll talk to her, then we'll come back and give you first half stats and second half action. You're watching Warren Wilson Basketball on the Owl Sports Network. Hello, everybody watching on YouTube and or at halftime of one of our Warren Wilson Owls games. Chris Sheeman here with new women's basketball coach Robin Martin. Robin, thanks a lot for giving us some of your time.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
So this is kind of the de facto preview of the season that we're going to do here. Folks at home just kind of take it in quotations because this will air probably about a week after your first game. But let's go back and start from the beginning. How you liking Asheville? How you liking it here at Warren Wilson?
Definitely loving Asheville. We're adjusting well. I mean, my kids will love it here, and Warren Wilson, the experience so far has been great. So we're happy to be here, and we've been moving right along with basketball. So it's been a good experience so far.
And, bringing in, you have 14, I think, on the roster, 7 new, 7 old. I mean that in the best way, ladies. But how is the roster gelling here in the preseason?
For preseason, we look great. I said probably from day one of practice, we have about 9 players that are vying for a starting position right now, which is a great position to be in as a coach. We're deep as long as we stay healthy. I really haven't set a 5 yet, and it's kind of adjusts every day as we go through practice, but we have a great solid 9 that are all competing for that potential to be a starter. And then we've just added a lot of depth. A lot of our new players, some were out last year, some were not. They worked a little bit in the spring, so just kind of gelling together well, but we have a good core to build around.
One of the really interesting things to me is you came in really late for a basketball coach to find any recruits, and you brought in 7. How exactly did that come about?
I brought in 3. I think the other 4 kind of walked on from campus, so just kind of being in the gym, seeing how we were doing open gyms kind of got them excited about it and got them to try out. And then the 3 that we brought in kind of were lucky. Keela McCurry is a local pickup, so that was a good reach out for us in the area. And Lindsay Bodner was one of the first ones I recruited as soon as I got the job, and she took one trip down to Asheville and signed, so that was great. Both are going to be huge additions for us. And Tashay Glenn just happened to walk in on transfer day, needed a place to play, and we're happy she found a home here. So.
Let's go through some of the returning players. Obviously, Lilvia, the top scorer, second scorer from last year, and the top scorer coming back to this year's team. What does her leadership need to be like this year?
Yeah, we're definitely going to look to Lil to be our presence inside. We had a scrimmage last week. She was injured, so she's been injured for about 2 weeks now, and so we haven't gotten to see that presence on the floor as far as what she's going to bring when she comes out there. But Jacina stepped up huge. She also has to be a big scorer for us as well. So we're looking for Jacina and Lil to be leaders, as far as scoring, but also on the floor and off the floor for us. Just kind of to maintain that balance and always be consistent for us.
Yeah, most of what I know at this point is kind of third-person hand from people who have seen the practice or the players themselves. But it seems like, you lose Danny, and Danny was a great scoring presence and a great leader last year. But at the same time, it looks like Tashay and some of the other people can come in and run point. Maybe Jacina can step into that scoring role at the guard spot.
And that was our main thing. That was one of the great things about Keela is we wanted somebody who wanted to be point guard so that we could move Jacina off the ball. She really didn't want to be a point guard. She kind of wanted to have that flexibility. And so I'm just grateful that we have that opportunity this year. Like you said, Tashay can run point as well, but Keela had a great first scrimmage as a freshman at point, and so that gives us a little bit more flexibility in Jacina's role.
Let's take a look at the schedule a little bit, Coach. It's interesting, and I wrote this on the preview that I'm sure a lot of people are probably read before they watch this interview. And I mentioned the interesting thing is when you have a lot of new players, you have a new head coach,
you're jumping right into it. You got a USCAA challenge in Johnson and Wales, and those are games that if you want to go back to Pennsylvania and see your friends and family, and the players want to go back and compete for a playoff spot, those are going to be big games. So how does that all have to come together in the early?
Yeah. I think that our first part of our schedule is huge. We're tough and we're on the road. I mean, we have open up at St. Andrews. That's going to be a tough game, and then we have Columbia, and then we go to Johnson and Wales for a Penn State matchup, and then I think it's St. Joseph of Vermont. So we have some 4 games that are going to be challenging for us that we have to play well, and we need to win really to kind of set ourselves in a good position for a bid. And so we need to come together and be playing well right from the door. And that is, like you said, challenging. I'm a new head coach, so we're learning new offense, new defense, and everybody's just adjusting. But we have to get it together by Saturday so we can give a good game for St. Andrews.
And then, kind of down the line, you get into December, and it's easier for me to say you can breathe a little
Right.
bit. You guys never get to breathe,
Yeah.
but I get to say things like that, and for whatever reason, they pay me to do it. But you do have a certain stretch in December where you have a lot of home games, you have a lot of winnable games, and so there's something to look for there.
Definitely. I think we're home most of all of December, so that'll be a nice month for us to kind of be home in front of our crowd and win those games. And so November's really to kind of set us up for that December. We can kind of, like you said, maybe relax, at least be on our home floor and win some games. And then as we go back on the road for January and February, it's key time as well. So we got to definitely be looking at a good spot end of December. We need to be, with a good record coming in, going back on the road.
And then you go in after the holiday break. You start January. You're on the road again a little bit. February more at home. I was looking at the schedule earlier, and obviously the MAC-U trip. That's another important stretch for you with the USC AA opponents. But anything else schedule-wise that you're looking for towards the end of the year?
No, I just think we need to position ourselves well. We really need to come out the door here and play well in our first couple games. I think it sets a tone and also makes a statement. And so I think we're looking forward to making that statement and doing playing well and be doing our best basketball going into the end of December.
I think we're just about out of time here. Before we let you go, name one place other than Warren Wilson or your apartment that you've been to so far in Asheville that you've really enjoyed.
Oh no, that's a good question because I have not ventured out.
When, is your husband down here yet?
Not yet, no. Not yet. He's still in the middle of his football season, so he's not out here yet.
All right, listen, when he comes down, I'm going to take you guys out. We can get Rob Shook or somebody to babysit. Rob's got nothing going on right now, so he can babysit the kids, and then we're gonna go out, and I want you to see some of this place.
Yeah, we haven't gone out. We've been to basketball all the way through, so we really haven't done anything spectacular.
All right, folks, she's working hard for you. Head coach Robin Martin. Robin, thank you for your time, and good luck this season.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, folks, those of you watching at halftime, I'll give you a second half or first half stats and then the second half play-by-play. For those of you watching on YouTube, feel free to check out some more videos. Thanks.
Welcome back, everybody. At halftime, it's Warren Wilson trailing Alice Lloyd by 4, 39-35. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you. If you're just joining us, the key to the game so far has been turnovers. The Owls with 15 turnovers in the first 20 minutes, and that has helped them to a 4-point deficit, although both teams shooting pretty well. Alice Lloyd's at 42%. The Owls at 46%. The Owls also 2 of 5 from behind the arc, 3 of 11 for Alice Lloyd. Alice Lloyd plus 3 in rebounding, 19-16, leading scorer for the Lady Eagles. In the first half, Carla Booth 3 of 10 from the field, 1 of 5 from downtown, 2 of 2 from the charity stripe, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Also scoring in the first half for Alice Lloyd, Taylor Morgan, 2 of 5 from the field, 1 of 1 from behind the arc, 6 points, 2 rebounds, 3 steals. Off the bench, Serena Nichols, 7 minutes, perfect 3 out of 3 with 6 points and 2 rebounds. Madison Reed, 13 minutes, 1 of 2 shooting, 5 points, 2 rebounds, and a steal. Sarah Robinson, 13 minutes, 2 of 4 from the field, 4 points, 2 rebounds. Morgan Chestnut in 11 minutes, 1 of 4 from the field, 3 points and 4 rebounds. Off the bench, it's 2 points for Amber Shepard and 1 point for Megan Jones and Carla McDaniel, also with 2, Bailey O'Brien. For Warren Wilson, leading scorer at the half, there's actually a tie to Shay Glenn and Livia Bradbury, both with 8 points. Glenn, 19 minutes, 3 of 4, 2 of 3 from behind the arc, 8 points, 3 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. Livia Bradbury in 18 minutes, 2 of 6 from the field, 8 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals. Tashi Oglesby in 11 minutes, 2 of 4 shooting, 6 points. Off the bench, Lindsey Bodner in 11 minutes, 3 of 6 shooting, 6 points, 1 rebound. Jacina Hall in 16 minutes, 2 of 4 shooting, 4 points, 2 assists. Sasha Miller in 3 minutes, 1 of 1 from the field, 2 points. Keelan McCurry in 12 minutes, 0 of 1 from the field, 1 point on a free throw, 2 rebounds and 2 assists. Renee Scherer is scoreless in 8 minutes, 0 of 1 from the field with 4 rebounds. And let's see who also played. Brogan O'Brien in 2 minutes is also scoreless. So that's how the first half wraps up as we get set for the second half. Chris Sheeman, glad to be back with you. This is game number 1 of 2. Coming up later tonight, the men will take on Mid-Atlantic Christian. That'll be at 7 p.m. Then on Sunday, it's the men at Greensboro at 2. That's an audio-only broadcast. And on Tuesday, the men will travel to Crown to take, or the men host Crown, I should say. So that's coming up. Next women's game after today, they are off until Thursday. They'll go to Emory and Henry. We'll bring that one to you from Virginia as well. Again, that will be audio only as well. Second half is underway. The Eagles possessing first and holding a 39-35 lead. Quick shot in the corner by Jones. A little bit long on the 3. Jacina Hall collects the rebound. Glenn into the forecourt now. Glenn. Bodner really got that comeback started. Glenn started to be more aggressive on the offensive end. Now she's open from downtown and gets it to go. A 1-point ball game, 39-38 in the first meeting between these two schools. This is an NAIA against a USC AA. Nickel, baseline rise up, got it. Glenn into the front court, throws it to Oglesby. Same starters for the Owls. Bradbury back out, Tashi, open 3, got it. Tied at 41. Just underway here in this second half. Booth, top of the key at Shepard, swings it to Jones on the left. Jones, Booth now between the circles. Tosses it over to O'Brien. Bounce pass to Booth. Deep 3, no good. Rebound to Bradbury. Glenn. Oglesby. Oh, Scherer was all alone, and Oglesby. The pass comes late. Shepard recovers and comes up with the steal. Now O'Brien into the forecourt. Here's Shepard, open for three, missed it back rim. Oglesby collects the rebound. Well, you see the Lady Eagles, they're picking and poking and swiping and swapping. Every opportunity, very aggressive team. It's fun to watch teams like that. They really like to get at it from open to finish. Scherer open from 15, no. Rebound to Booth. And here come the Eagles. Booth into the lane, scoops it off the glass and in. Alice Lloyd goes back up. Oglesby, now Hall. And Al's able to break the press. Jacina Hall to the bucket. Out to Scherer, baseline jumper, an air ball, and that's off of the fingertips of Bradbury out of bounds. Taylor Morgan comes in. As O'Brien will come out, Morgan gets the inbound and will walk it into the front court. Swings it over to Jones on the left. Booth, top of the key. Quick toss back to Jones from way downtown. Can't get it to go. And Scherer's got the rebound. Scherer home run pass and a bad idea as Jones comes up with the steal. That's what Alice Lloyd wants. Nice pass underneath. Shepard can't get it to go. Second effort is good. Eagles back up by 4, 45-41. 17:09 to go in the ball game. Hall into the front court now on the pass from Glenn. Jacina Hall dribbles to the right. Had it knocked away, but able to recover. A lot of dribbling from Jacina, now 9 to shoot. Hall with 6 to shoot, drives to the bucket, floats it up short. And that was not great offense from Warren Wilson. No ball movement. Here's Jones to the bucket, floats it off the back of the rim. No, Scherer's got the rebound. Glenn from Oglesby, now to Hall on the left. Hall to Bradbury, left of the lane to Scherer. Scherer pops it at the free throw stripe, no good. Rebound controlled by Shepard. Here's Morgan out on the break. Morgan 1-on-2, now waits for her teammates. Bounce passes it out to Jones from downtown, buries the jumper. So it is a 7-0 run for Alice Lloyd here as the Owls will need to fight back again. Still just 7. Hall is all alone for 3. Rises up, goes halfway down and back out. Rebound to Booth. Booth, cross-court pass to Shepard. Shepard in the lane, goes around 2 defenders, can't get the bucket. Hall battling with Nickel for the rebound, and the jump ball possession arrow favors Warren Wilson. Keelan McCurry and Lindsey Bodner will come in. I got to say, to the folks watching in Toronto, Ohio, I know your area very well. I have family from Weirton, West Virginia, and we pass through Toronto to get to Weirton, West Virginia all the time. Here's Bradbury. Bradbury to the bucket, lays it up short. Offensive rebound by the Buckeyes. Swings it over to Glenn on the right wing. Bradbury fouled on her way up, so Lilvia will go back to the line. Bradbury, 4 for 4 so far here tonight. Lilvia, 13.2 points per ball game. Another Buckeye, although she lives in Georgia now, originally from Minford, Ohio. First free throw up and in. Now, you folks in Toronto probably know a little something about Weirton, West Virginia, so you know those aren't the relatives that I normally talk to or talk about often. It is a 5-point game now. 48-43, 15-18 left to go. Here's Shepard for 3, no good. Bradbury collects the rebound. Out to McCurry. Boy, McCurry able to add a little stability to that point guard spot, the freshman. Watching her control. She had a couple of throwaways in the first half, but overall, very poised for a freshman. Here's Glenn now with 12 to shoot for the Owls. Under 15 to go in the ball game. Bounce pass Bradbury and another reach as Bradbury hit the deck. Lovia had some nagging injuries that she had to deal with in the offseason. Missed a lot of preseason time. Strong start, though. 13 a ball game. Can't get the bucket there, but she's fouled again. Perfect 6 for 6 at the charity stripe. So Olivia trying to stay perfect here. Oh, missed that one. Alice Lloyd, by the way, 3 team fouls. The Owls have yet to pick up one here, about 5 minutes and change here in this second half. Bradbury able to get 1 of 2. It's a 4-point ball game. Robinson came back in for Shepard for the Eagles during those free throws. There's Booth over to Morgan on the right side. Morgan, cross-court pass. Glenn went for the steal. Booth able to get it. Booth throws it too high for Reed, and a turnover for Alice Lloyd. So Owls get the basketball back. It was a 7-0 run by Alice Lloyd. They haven't scored, though, in a couple of minutes. Here's Bodner, fakes the 3, and she's fouled. So now 4 team fouls on Alice Lloyd. And Jacina Hall will inbound left side of the bucket. Bodner, baseline shot, no good. Tip for the rebound. It's controlled by Reed. Reed looking to push for the Eagles. Reed up top to Morgan. Morgan misses the 3 off the back of the rim, and Hall is fouled over the back. John Mills, the head coach for the Eagles, shakes his head. He looks like my dad the last time I brought back a bad report card right now over on the bench. Just arms are folded. It'll be all right, Coach. Bounce pass from Bodner. Bradbury fouled again on her way up. That is 6 team fouls on Alice Lloyd. So Bradbury back at the line. She's making a living here tonight. Olivia 7 out of 8. Make it 7 out of 9 as she misses the first. Folks, stick around. Our next game up is at 7 o'clock, approximate start time for the Owls and MacU. The Mustangs from Elizabeth City coming all the way across North Carolina. Bradbury misses both. Now McCurry got tied up. Jump ball will give the ball back to the Eagles. I think Kilo is trying to call for timeout. Sasha Miller in. Bradbury will come out. Our thanks to Robin Martin, too, for joining us at the half. It was interesting to hear her perspective. Now, Glenn, that pass. Reed, I think, went over the back. So the ball will belong to Warren Wilson here. Hall will inbound it. Goes the Miller to Shea Glenn into the front court. Can you move the camera? Glenn top of the key. Swings it to Bodner on the right side. Over to Hall on the left for 3. Can't get it to go. And Alice Lloyd gets the rebound. Morgan. Booth in the forecourt. Booth got deflected and knocked away. McCurry comes up with the steal. Now the Owls with the 2-on-1. Bodner bounce pass to Glenn. Oh, beautiful play. Morgan really did enough to disrupt that ball there. So the Owls will keep it, and we will have a timeout. 12:52 left to go. 48-44. Owls down by 4, trying to fight their way back. We'll be back. Folks, you can subscribe to the Owls YouTube channel. You can set reminders, get alerts on your calendars and on your phones when games are coming up so you don't miss one. YouTube, the official streaming provider for the Owls all season long. Every game on demand as well this season. Bodner, oh, nice fake and goes around the defender, lays it up and in. So it's a 2-point game now, 46-48. Reed between the circles. Reed drives into the lane, kicks it out to Nickel. Baseline jumper, got it to go. That ends a 6-0 run for the Owls after Alice Lloyd had a 7-0 run. Glenn looking to push now. Bodner in the corner and traveled with the basketball. Well, the Owls had 15 turnovers in the first half. Playing much better here in the second, but a turnover there. Jones on the left. Bounce past the Nickel in the corner. Top to Chestnut, had it deflected and taken away. McCurry comes up with it. Outlet to Glenn. Glenn, Bodnar goes back to Glenn. Out to McCurry. McCurry, jumper, can't get it. Hall with the rebound. Hall spins in. No. Tip for the rebound. Glenn gets it now for the Owls. Glenn, quick trigger jumper, got it. 2-point ball game. Owls are hanging around on an 8-2 run now with 11:39 left to play. That ball is tipped. Coming up with it, Jones, and Jones is fouled on her way up. So Jones will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws. Jones came in 4 of 7. Jones 1 of 2 here tonight. Make it 1 of 3 as she misses the first one. That was the first team foul on the Owls, as I mentioned, with 11:32 left to go here in the half. Scherer comes in. Sasha Miller will come out. The other cool thing about YouTube is you can pause, rewind, and fast forward through these live games. So if you come in late, you can fast forward and start at the beginning, or rewind and start at the beginning. Owls will inbound it again. Hall will inbound. You can also pause it, pick it up right where you left off. That ball deflected again, so the Owls will inbound it near midcourt this time. So it'll be Glenn who will inbound it, as Bradbury will come back in for the Owls. Bradbury comes in, and Bodnar will come out. So if you have to go make dinner or leave for 5 minutes, just hit the pause button and you'll be right where you left off when you come back. A lot of cool features on YouTube. They really opened up their streaming to a lot of different people, and it's been a big help for those of us in my business, that's for sure. Glenn gets a screen. Ball deflected. Now Scherer almost threw it away. McCurry comes up with it, has to heave it with the shot clock expiring. Bradbury got it off, but the rebound comes to McDaniel, who's returned. Outlet to Reed now. Reed in the forecourt, lays it up, goes in and out. And we have a jump ball possession now. And that will give the ball to Warren Wilson. Inbound goes to Glenn. Glenn into the front court. Glenn had it deflected, now tries to save it. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Owls. So it'll be Alice Lloyd basketball. 10:31 left to go. Into the front court, Eagles. Reed now throws cross court to Jones. Jones floats it up, can't get the roll. Scherer with the rebound. Glenn's got Oglesby in the front court. Throws it to her on the right block. Oglesby spins into the lane, can't get it. Bradbury put back, no, but she got hammered on the arm. And Livia will go to the line to shoot 2 more. These will be free throws number 11 and 12 for Bradbury. First free throw up and in, and it's a 1-point ball game. Bradbury got the second, and we're tied at 50. Here come the Eagles now. Morgan into the front court. So the Owls trailed by as many as 10 in this game and 7 here in this half. That ball thrown to Jones, too high and out of bounds. So Hall will inbound it. With under 10 minutes to go, the Owls looking to get the lead back here. Thrown to Scherer, now McCurry. McCurry to Hall in the front court. Hall throws it for Bradbury. Bounce passes it back out to Hall. Cross court, Oglesby. Up top, McCurry. McCurry dribbles to the right. Ball deflected. McCurry able to stay with it, though. Oglesby for 3. Got it to go. How about Tashi Oglesby? 2 threes here in the second half. The Owls lead it by 3 now. Owls have led by as many as 5. Jones between the circles. Left side to Morgan. Reed on the left. Jones up top, back to Reed. Catch and shoot 3. Can she answer? No. Offensive rebound by McDaniel, though, and she's fouled on her way up. So McDaniel will go to the line. Carla McDaniel came in 4 for 4 on the season. She's 1 for 2 here tonight. First one up and in. McDaniel's second free throw is good. So it's a 1-point game. Good one here in the home opener. Owls, that ball to Oglesby. Oglesby into the front court. Oglesby scoop shot, no, but she's fouled. And Tashi will go to the free throw stripe. Oglesby in the first half, 2 for 2. Can't get the first one to go. Last year, Warren Wilson went 16 and 12, 14 and 9 in 2013. 7 new additions to this roster. They're playing pretty well, all things considered. This is an NAIA program with scholarships that Warren Wilson doesn't have. Not saying that the players are necessarily better because of it, but it's just worth noting. Bounce pass over to Jones. Jones 3 ball, no. Offensive rebound, McDaniel again can't get it to go. Reed tries it, no. Here's Nickel, and Nickel is fouled. So, 4 chances there, 3 or 4 chances for Alice Lloyd. Now Nickel will go to the line. Nickel, 58% free throw shooter, buries the first one. Second one off the back of the rim. Rebound by Bradbury. McCurry now will walk it into the forecourt. McCurry. Hall now on the right side. Hall drives in. Scoop shot, no. And she's called for steps. Robin Martin did not like that call, but traveling is the call and a turnover. McCurry and Scherer come out. Glenn and Bodner are back in for the Owls. Booth into the front court. McDaniel. Now Jones on the right wing. Jones dribbles to the circle. Scoops it over to Booth from way outside. Can't get that one to go. A rebound fought for, and Bradbury had the position and comes up with it. Boy, Alice Lloyd, they are just all over. And what do we have here? We have a stoppage. I think we got a technical foul, and I think it's on Robin Martin. So Martin didn't like that travel call on Jacina Hall and kept jawing, I guess. So welcome to Warren Wilson, Robin Martin. And his free throws to come now for Booth. Booth gets the second one to tie it up. It'll still be Alice Lloyd basketball now. Correction, it'll still be Warren Wilson basketball. So the Owls will inbound it. And 8:18 left to go. Glenn into the forecourt. Glenn on the right side. That entry pass is deflected, but McDaniel a little aggressive over the top and is called for the foul. The Owls have been in the bonus. The Owls with just 4 team fouls, but the Eagles have 9 now. So still 1-1 as Bodner will go to the line. Bodner just 42% on the young season so far. Front end of the 1-1 is good. Owls back up by 1. Bodner's second one is good. 56-54. Warren Wilson back up by 2. Here's Reed on the left wing. Out to Jones between the circles. Swings it over to Booth. Booth double teamed, got it to Nickel, and a traveling violation. So the Owls will get it back here. For Warren Wilson, Bodner and Bradbury up front. It's Glenn Hall and Oglesby in the backcourt. Bodner driving on the baseline, had it stripped out of bounds. Hall, Bodner on the left wing. Oglesby between the circles. Back to Hall on the left. Hall spins in, no, but she's fouled. That is 10 team fouls now on Alice Lloyd, so Warren Wilson will shoot 2 no matter what. Of course, Hall was in the act of shooting, so that doesn't matter anyways, but point of emphasis going forward now. First free throw, up and in. Owls lead it by 3. Alice Lloyd won their first 3 over Hiawassee, Kentucky Christian, and West Virginia Tech. Lost against Pikeville and having a little trouble here on the road today against the Owls. Shepard on the left wing. Cross court to Jones. Bounce passes it back to Shepard. Shepard, nice fake. And gets it over to McDaniel. Open jumper, no good. Oglesby collects the rebound. Into the forecourt, Jacina Hall. Oglesby, now Glenn up top. Glenn, Bodner. Bodner had it stripped and taken away. Here comes Alice Lloyd in transition. Booth underneath. Nickel counted in the foul. Big bucket by Serena Nickel there, and an opportunity to complete the old school three-point play. Free throw up and good. So it's a one-point game. It's early season battle. Owls at 1-3. Glenn. Bradbury, it was tipped and taken away. Good defense by Alice Lloyd. Dangerous in transition. Now Jones steps into a jumper. No. And Glenn comes out of the pack with the ball. Glenn into the front court. Hall between the circles. Hall. Bodner. Back to Hall. 11 to shoot for the Owls. Jacina Hall bounce pass to Bradbury on the right. Out to Oglesby. Quick trigger three. An air ball. Bodner saves it. It deflects. Shea forces it as the shot clock was running down and chases down or miss. Oglesby now. Bradbury. Oh, pretty. Pretty. McCurry is down. Excuse me, that's Bodner who's down. McCurry and Miller coming back in. So Lindsay got a little shaken up there, but she's up and okay. 5:53 left to go here in this contest. Alice Lloyd led by as many as 10 in the first half. Right before the half, the Owls went on a 6-0 run to cut it to 4. Alice Lloyd went up by 7 here in the second. But the Owls have come back and lead it by 3. Timeout on the court for John Mills and Alice Lloyd. We will step aside as well. 5:47 left to go and a good one. We'll be back. Fans, you can follow the Owls on Twitter for instant news scores, reminders about live games, all that good stuff at WWC Athletics. So Alice Lloyd basketball out of the timeout. 5:47 left to go here in the ball game. Eagles to inbound it now. Booth over to Shepard on the left. Shepard with a dribble, and it goes in between the legs of McDaniel. Owls come up with a steal. Here's McCurry into the forecourt. Jacina Hall. Bodner. Bodner pops it left of the lane. No good. Tip for the rebound. Shepard controls it. Alice Lloyd down by 3. Booth rises up at the free throw stripe and bangs it in. Carla Booth, 21.7 points per ball game. Looking to take over now for Alice Lloyd. Al 60. Alice Lloyd 59. Here's Glenn on the right. McCurry, same spot. Bodner at the half circle. Over to Hall on the left wing. It's it into Miller. Miller's all alone. Can't get the bunny, though. And Glenn again chases down the rebound, and she's fouled on her way to the bucket. So to Shea Glenn, who came in shooting 87% at the line. Chance to extend the lead here. She does on the first one. Miller and Bodner come out. Bradbury and Oglesby back in. So Oglesby in the backcourt with McCurry and Hall up front. It's Glenn and Bradbury. That's roughly the lineup. Glenn can't get the second one to go. Here comes Alice Lloyd down just 2. It's Booth into the forecourt. Nickel on the baseline, short on the shot. Tip for the offensive rebound. Now a scrum for it. And the Owls jump ball will stay with the Eagles. What do you want? Dylan, who apparently doesn't have much else to do on a Friday night, is over here sitting in the booth with me now. Shepard jumper. Ties it up, even at 61. You didn't tell me you were coming. I would have brought you a headset. A pleasant surprise? Somehow I doubt it. McCurry now to Hall, top of the key. 4:19 left to go, and I think we have a foul away from the ball. Robin Martin picked up her first technical, Dylan. Didn't like a traveling call. Don't start. Nobody can hear you anyways. I'm the only one who can. You want my job? You're going to have it right now. My amazing voice. Bradbury, 1 of 2 at the line. Warren Wilson back up by 1 now, 62-61. Again, 10 team fouls for Alice Lloyd. The Owls with just 5. Shepard, bounce pass, and that's deflected. Off of Alice Lloyd, they say. Hold on. John Mills making the appeal. I think the right call is Alice Lloyd, but we'll see. So it is Alice Lloyd ball, and that was the correct call. Entry goes to Nickel, and Nickel is fouled. So Nickel will go to the line with a chance to put her team up now. 16 fouls now on the Owls. Nickel, 58%, got that one to go. Even at 62. Nickel gets the second, and it's Alice Lloyd with their first lead since it was 48-46, I believe. Here's McCurry in the forecourt. Now Glenn. Bradbury right post. Bradbury around the defender, can't get the bucket. Rebound controlled by McDaniel, under 4 to go. Here come the Eagles with a 1-point lead. Booth swings it over. Jones on the left wing. Nickel, now McDaniel. McDaniel puts it up, no. Tip for the rebound, coming back is Shepard, and she lays it up and in. 65-62. Jacina Hall gets it into the forecourt now. Hall has it top of the key. Hall puts it up, counted, and the foul. Jacina Hall with a chance to tie it up at 65. Bradbury will come out. Sasha Miller returns. And Jacina Hall, she can complete the three-point play, will tie it up at 65. She does. A barn burner here in DeVries Gym. Into the front court, Booth. Shepard takes it to the corner. Bounce pass goes to Nickel. Nickel throws it up and got the call. She was trying to draw a foul from the moment she caught the ball. She started swinging into people, hoping for the call, and she got it. So Nickel will go to the line again after hitting the last two. 3:19 left to go. Back and forth we go at the charity stripe now as the Owls go over the limit. Alice Lloyd has been over the limit for some time. Eagles go back up by 1 now. Make it 2. So good free throw shooting for Nickel, who came in just 58%. And now the Owls get it into the forecourt. Miller on the left. Up top to Hall. And Hall loses it out of bounds. 2:57 left to go. 67-65. And it's Alice Lloyd basketball. Swings it over to Jones on the right. Now Booth on the left. Shepard for 3. No. Hall's got the rebound. So the Owls now trying to tie it up here, trailing it by 2. McCurry, Hall on the right. Glenn up top. Oglesby spins, shoots, can't get the roll. McDaniel gets the rebound. 2:16 left to play. Booth, Jones on the right. She shuffled her feet. Ball goes back to Warren Wilson. Bodner and Bradbury come back in. Miller and Oglesby will sit down. Keelan McCurry across the midcourt. McCurry dribbles to the right, looking for Bradbury. Bradbury doubled up, deflected, and now what do we have? I called a foul on the Eagles, judging by the body language, for Alice Lloyd. So Lindsey Bodner goes to the line. Remember, it's double bonus, so 2 shots no matter what. And the freshman with an opportunity to tie it up here. Or an opportunity to cut it to 1 if she can hit the second one. And got it to go. 1-point game, 67-66. Eagles now. Booth into the forecourt. Swings it over to Jones on the right side. Minute 47 left to go. Back out to Shepard. Shepard, bounce pass. Hall tied up with McDaniel. The possession arrow favors Warren Wilson. Hall. Inbound to McCurry. Owls can take the lead here. 90 seconds to go. Jacina Hall, top of the key. Bodner on the baseline, drives in, floats it up, got it! And it's Warren Wilson by 1. Here we go, folks. We saw it in the men's game earlier this week at Piedmont. Now back and forth in the women's game. Booth floats it, good! I was waiting for her to start taking over, and she sure did that time. Here's McCurry. Cuts it. Oh, nobody's guarding Bradbury all the way to the bucket. Under a minute to go. Wild back and forth home opener for the Owls. Here's Booth. Spins in. Short on the shot. Good defense by McCurry. Here come the Owls now. Jacina Hall to the bucket. Good! 72-69. Booth, always a three-point threat, though, is Alice Lloyd. Shepard ties it up at 72. 35 seconds, 5-second difference between game and shot clock. We are even. Jacina Hall, yes again! Oh my! The shot clock is off. A wild finish here at Warren Wilson as Booth ties it up. 16 to go. McCurry now. Here's Glenn. 12 seconds. Glenn. Hall with 9. Jacina Hall with 7. Jacina Hall with 5, 4, 3. Scoops. She's fouled with 2.1. Jacina Hall will go to the line. Oh, my. Jacina Hall taking over here late. Timeout, Alice Lloyd. And we will keep it right here. So 2.1 seconds. Jacina Hall at the line for 2 shots, all tied at 74. Meanwhile, possession arrow favoring Alice Lloyd. Should that come into play? What is Alice Lloyd thinking of here? 2.1 is difficult, guys. You got to go pretty much 3/4 of the length of the. You can't. We had 2.6 in Piedmont the other day. Now 2.6, you can at least get it to half court. 2.1, that 5/10 is a big difference. 2.1, to get a decent look, you're going to have to go 3/4. So Alice Lloyd, head coach John Mills in the huddle right now, drawing something up. Got to think, if Hall can get 1 here, what do? Do you intentionally miss the second? You're playing with fire there, but it's a gamble. But by the time the Eagles would get a rebound, you would be looking at probably 3 or 4 tenths come off. Then you're down to 1.7, 1.8. So Jacina Hall out of the timeout, goes to the line for 2 shots. First free throw, good. And the Owls with the lead. Another timeout. John Mills. Timeout. We're going to keep it here again. Folks, a reminder, stick around. Boy, if the next one's just as good as this one, I don't know. We've got Mac U coming to town to take on the Owls. So the Owls and Mustangs coming up about 20 minutes after we're done with this one. Again, 2.1 on the clock. You see it there on your screen. Alice Lloyd with another timeout here. I wonder if they'll burn another one if Hall makes or misses this next free throw. You wonder if college basketball will ever change that rule. You know how the NBA you could take the ball to half court on a timeout. And you wonder if college basketball will ever do that. They put that stupid half circle that the NBA instituted because of Dennis Rodman in the lane in college. I would like to see that timeout rule change, but right now right now the current rule is benefiting the Owls, so I'll keep my mouth shut. So Hall will try to get the second one here. And it would take a miracle for Alice Lloyd, although time is still on the clock. Hall, short, tip for the rebound, and it's going to come to an end with Warren Wilson. What a game. They win a thriller, 75-74. So the Owls go to 2-3 on the season. And what a game for Warren Wilson as they get a win over an NAIA opponent. Folks, we got to go. No post game here because we have game number 2 coming up. It will be the men taking on Mac U at 7 p.m. Well, a little bit after 7, about 7:05 or so. So come on back for that one, folks. Thanks for watching. Owls win 75-74.